Welcome, everybody, to the Monday Game Plan with Cannon Planning. I am Wendy, your resident direct sales planner coach. If you are doing network sales, network marketing, social marketing, all those kinds of fun things, and you need a paper planner to help you get organized, I am the one for you to follow. I do this every single Monday. Come and hang out with me here, whether you find me on my business page or on YouTube, whichever. I'm here every Monday to come and hang out with you and chit chat. So all this month, we have been talking about goal planning leading up to our Vision to Victory workshop, which will be happening on Monday, December 2nd, and be going until Thursday, December 5th. But today we're going to be talking about evaluating and adjusting your specific goals, whatever those might be. This is probably the biggest step that most people miss in their goal setting. Has to do a lot based on your accountability, both for yourself and if you have an accountability partner, having them help you, but also not just setting it and forgetting it. And I saw that comment today. I don't even remember what I was looking at, but it was something related to goals. And somebody said, setting goals is not a set it and forget it kind of situation. It's something that you really have to hone in on and take part in. So we're going to talk about evaluating and adjusting. And what you have to do first is check in. The first thing that you have to do is you have to check in. You have to make it a priority to go back and look at what it is that you are working on for your goals. And I have notes sitting here, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at those. So the first thing is that your life will change, friends. There might be things that you weren't expecting to come up, and you are going to be taking on a new role. Maybe you're changing a work atmosphere. Maybe you have kiddos that are involved in sporting events that they weren't in the past because now they're at the age where they could participate. Excuse me, friends. It's yawning. It's a thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe you had some unexpected challenges come up. Maybe you have some health issues, mental or physical, whatever the case might be. And we want to make sure that we address those. And maybe you have new opportunities that are popping up. Those are always something that can change your goals. The next thing that you might want to be thinking about is, we look at evaluating our goals in a negative light, and it really is not in a negative place for you to look at. Just because you have to make some changes or some evaluations doesn't mean that you failed at all. It means that you have the ability to change direction. Maybe what you're doing right now isn't relevant. So when we set SMART goals, remember we're doing specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. If your goals change over the course of time or not your goals, but if your life changes over time, then you're going to make sure that your goals change too, because they might not be relevant and you'd be working towards something that doesn't really matter, right? So I want to talk specifically about why regular goal check-ins are important. So we know why check-ins are important, right? Things might change, things might happen. Those are super important, but why is it important to do it on a regular basis? I do it every Monday. I actually do it with an audience. So people get to see me going through my goal check-in and determining whether or not I'm doing what I said I was going to be doing. They also get to see the process of, okay, maybe I need to make some adjustments, and we go through that. So regular check-ins, number one, they help you keep focused and they help you to keep yourself accountable. If you said you were going to do something, right, and you have it on your goals, why are those things not happening? So for example, last week I checked in with my goals, or this morning I checked in with my goals in my membership group. Last week was crazy busy. I had 3 huge projects that I had to get done. They were time sensitive. I needed to get them done. I had 2 that needed to be done by Friday and 1 that needed to be done by Sunday. And so the things that I had set aside to do for my actual goal, I didn't get to, because those time sensitive things, they took precedence. They were something that I absolutely had to get done. And so when I sit down to do my accountability, and I said, hey, I didn't get these done this week, I'm holding myself accountable. So no, I know that I didn't get them done. It's not that I just set it and forget it. It's that I had other things come up that were a little more pressing that had to take responsibility. It allows you to, when you do regular check-ins, it allows you to celebrate your progress. I'm sorry, I've got itchy in my eye. allows you to celebrate progress, even if it's the small wins. I am working on a huge, major project right now, one that is taking a lot of my time and effort. But when I get chunks of it done, I can celebrate and be like, oh my gosh, look, I've gotten this much accomplished. Now, I started on my goal we are in week 8. So we do a 12-week planning session in our membership group, and we are on week 8 right now. So I am 8 weeks into this big project, and it is taking me a long time to get through. And that's okay, because I have the full 12 weeks to work on it. And it might be something that goes into the first quarter, into the next 12 weeks. But it doesn't seem like I'm making big dents in it, but I'm making big chunks, taking big chunks out of it, because I'm constantly working on it. I'm constantly checking in. I'm constantly being accountable for what I'm working on. The third reason why it's important to do a regular check-in is to identify what's working and what's not working. If you originally set a goal with a step to take and a habit to create, and those aren't working for you, it's time to reevaluate. If you are going to, maybe your goal was to do more live videos, and you are petrified of doing live videos with your face, and that's making it so that you don't want to do them. Maybe we need to reevaluate the kind of video that you do. Maybe it's your hands only. Maybe it's product only, and they can see the product working. Maybe it's just quick tips that you are sharing that is just a voiceover, so you can speak, but you're not necessarily doing the video yourself right that minute. So there's a couple of different things that you need to think about when you're doing a regular check-ins. What's working, what's not working, what an avenue for you to be accountable and stay focused, and then allows you to celebrate your wins. So how do we go about adjusting when we need to adjust? Basically, this is the pivot monster, friends. This is where you get to go, all right, what about this do I need to change? So here's some signs that you know that it's time to pivot. Number one, you've hit a roadblock that feels unattainable. Like you absolutely cannot get over it. It is making you uncomfortable. It's making you overwhelmed. It's making you frustrated. Now it's time to do a pivot. I remember in 2020 when the world shut down and a lot of direct sellers were pivoting to online only. I was only ever online. I have never been in person. And so it wasn't a pivot for me. It was watching everybody else that had done in-person events having to pivot. That's a roadblock. Friends, that's a roadblock that you cannot get past. It's overwhelming. It is insurmountable. It's not something that you're going to be able to get through. So this is a good time for you to pivot. It's a turnaround about face, go the other direction. We talked a little bit already about unrealistic or irrelevant goals. So if your circumstances have changed and things making it so that your goals are not realistic to what you can actually do, or they're no longer relevant to you, this is where you get to change that avenue. And then the third things that you might need to do for if you need to pivot, are you constantly avoiding doing the thing that you said you were going to do? There is a I went last quarter. One of the things that I was working on is a Pinterest goal, and I was working towards getting more in line with getting things added onto my Pinterest, my blog posts and videos and things like that. And there was a moment where I was just like, I am avoiding this to the max. I cannot keep pushing my head against the wall or banging my head against the wall and making no progress, because I sit down at my computer and one, I would freeze because I didn't know what to do next, or two, I would just be like, this is so overwhelming. So a couple of things might be happening in that. One, it's not the right goal for you. Time to check it off and rethink. Okay. The other thing is you might not have your steps broken down far enough. And so you're looking at it and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even know what to do next, because you've got too big of a pile. You're looking at your whole laundry. And if you guys have heard me before, you talk about the laundry analogy. You're looking at all of the laundry instead of just sorting. Right now, today, I'm just going to sort my laundry. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to sort it. And so when we are avoiding tasks, we need to look at it and say, hey, why am I avoiding this particular thing? Am I avoiding it because it's not something I really need to be doing right now? Or am I avoiding it because I haven't broken it down far enough and I'm not quite sure what the next step is to move forward? So the next thing we want to do is ask ourselves questions to help stay on track. So here are a couple of questions. I have 4 of them for you. And I don't know if I put them on slides. Oh, I did. Here we go. The first one is this goal still meaningful and aligned with your overall vision? Are you getting what you want out of this particular goal because it aligns with where you want to be in the future, your vision? And we're going to talk about vision more next Monday when we do Vision to Victory. But we want to make sure that the goal is meaningful. We want to make sure that it's aligned with what we are doing. And if we are not able to stay on track, we need to go ask this question and make sure that it's something that we've actually accomplished. Next one, what progress have I made so far? So what's working well? What am I getting to? What have I done? I'm looking at a big overhaul in my VIP group right now. I started with like 720 people in there, and not all of them are active, and that's fine. That's on me. I'm doing a big revamp, changing things, changing what I'm presenting in my VIP group and those kinds of things. So if you are not a current Tool of 12 member and you want to come over and check it out, you're more than welcome to. The group is called Candle Plan of VI Planners. Come hang out. But I look at this each week and I'm like, what progress have I made so far? Well, I've sent over 100 messages, almost 200 now. I'm almost sent 200 individual messages to people in my group, trying to figure out, is this the place for you? Is this the value that you want to receive while you're in here? Are you still using a paper planner? If you're not, then this information that I have to share here is pretty much invalid, because all I'm doing in here is sharing paper planning ideas and concepts. And so this allows me to, one, what progress have I made so far? I can look at this and be like, of the 720 people that I started with, I've done 200 messages. I've actually had several people leave my group, and I am okay with that because I'm not serving them. They are not my ideal client. They are not who I want to talk to, because what I have to offer as far as value, it's not something that they need. And I know many people look at that vanity matrix and be like, oh my gosh, you've lost 100 people. Yeah, it's okay, because that 100 people I'm not serving. And that means that I can spend time serving those 600 people that I have in my group now, that I can be having conversations with and helping them. Those people are more important than the 100 that left that didn't need what I had to offer. So what progress have you made so far? What obstacles are holding me back, and how can I address them? An obstacle that I had last week, instead of being able to send out some of my messages, was I had 3 huge projects. That's not something that's going to happen every single day. So it doesn't mean that I'm going to give up my goal because, oh my gosh, I had 3 projects to do and I didn't make any progress on my goals. It's time to just throw in the towel. No, it's taking time to look at that evaluation and being like, well, I didn't get to that part of my goal this week, but it's not an obstacle that's holding me back from being successful. It was a piece of wood in the middle of the road, which I needed to leave. I had a storm come through and I needed to clear up my path. That's all it is. So making sure that your obstacles are really obstacles that you can remove because they were just a one-time thing and you can move on, or is it an obstacle that's keeping you from moving forward because it is permanent? Like, has a mountain grown in the middle of your path, right? And then we have to figure out how to go over, around, or through, depending on what kind of mountain you choose to follow or get over. All right, the fourth one is, do I need to adjust my timeline, strategy, or expectations? And I have a lot of people in my membership group that everybody's like, I found you. Yes, I'm here. I'm right here. That need to make some adjustments. So one, a timeline adjustment. We do the 12-week year, but I have people in my membership group who that say 12 weeks does not work for me. I need 6 or I need 8. I need them to be more condensed because that's too far, or that's not enough time. I need to be able to extend it to 24 weeks or whatever the case may be. So whatever it is, you can adjust your timeline. You have the ability to do that. You are the one that's creating your timeline. You are the one who's creating your goal. You are the one who is putting that into process. So whether you are finding that it's not enough time or not long enough, change the timeline. If your strategy to attack that goal is not working, let's take a look back at it and see what steps we can change or help. And maybe your expectations, remember we went to SMART, specific, measurable, achievable. Maybe it's not so achievable right now because you had some circumstance changes. So if your expectations are different, that means that you need to make some adjustments. And we're going to do that without feeling defeated, because what's important, friends, when you are doing your adjustments is it's not that you're a failure. It's a smart move in order for you to achieve your goal. So adjusting your goals shows flexibility, and it shows determination to keep going in the right direction. It's not, I have to adjust, therefore I'm throwing in the towel, I'm not doing this goal anymore. It's, I have to adjust. I had a path that I was going here. I have a roadblock that I can't get through. So I'm going to create a new path. I'm going to go around it, and we're going to get back onto where we need to be. Lots of analogies today. And then every step forward, you guys, even with adjustments, is progress moving you forward towards your goals. That's what's important. It's an opportunity for you to move forward in your goals. All right, all this talk about goals, and we haven't even gotten to the workshop itself. This will be happening next week, Monday, December 2nd through the 5th. The time is TBR. More information will be coming later this week. So if you are registered, which I hope you are, go to candleplanner.com/free workshop, get registered. Those people who are registered are getting freebies and getting fun things in their email already. I know I sent out a fun freebie on Thursday. So they got their first freebie. Another one will be coming later this week. But you don't have to register if you don't want to. You can just hang out here on my Facebook business page. I'll be here. It'll be live. The only difference is it will not probably be at 3:00. So there will be no game plan live next week because we will be doing the Vision to Victory workshop. Replays will be available through the next week. So going into, I want to say like the 11th, I think is December 11th, I think is when replays will be available till. So you have lots of time to go back and replay. It'll be 3 days of intense goal setting. We're going to talk about vision casting. We're going to talk about the SMART goal and breaking them down into steps. And then the third day, we're going to be talking about tracking, habit tracking specifically. I know we talked about habit tracking last month, but it's always good to go back and talk about habit tracking and ways that you can incorporate it into your goal setting. We're going to do that. So that is it, my friends, for this week's game plan. Hope you all have a fantastic Thanksgiving. And if you and your friends are in the market for building goals, developing habits, or managing tasks using a paper planner, come and hang out with me, Cannon Planning, right here on the Facebook business page or YouTube, wherever you happen to find me every Monday for Game Plan Live. I'll see you all soon, friends.